Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve. Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Lucille-Ball and Richard Denning in an episode of My Favorite Husband. This episode goes back to September 23rd, 1949. And if it sounds a lot like something you probably would have heard on I Love Lucy, a lot of the same people wrote this show that wrote Lucy. So let's give it a listen, shall we?
It's time for My Favorite Husband, starring Lucille Ball.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, it's the new Gay Family series starring Lucille Ball with Richard Denning. Brought to you by the Jell-O family of desserts.
J-E-L-L. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. That's Jell-O.
Yum, yum, yum.
Jell-O puddings.
Yum, yum, yum.
Jell-O tapioca puddings. Yes, sirree.
And now Lucille Ball with Richard Denning as Liz and George Cooper. Two people who live together and like it. Even in the happiest of marriages, both the husband and wife have little habits that prove annoying over a period of years. With the Coopers, it's George's habit of reading the newspaper at the breakfast table. Well, unable to break him of this habit, Liz is setting up a counter-irritant. As we look in on them now, she has just started a barrage of toast munching. It's a war of nerves.
Liz,
Yes, George?
is that toast as good as it sounds?
No, it's fine.
Liz, for heaven's sakes, do you have to make so much noise?
I'm only eating toast, George.
Well, be quiet. Eat it with your mouth closed.
Now that's silly. How will I get it inside? Do I stuff it through my ear?
Very funny.
I'll make a deal with you. You put down the paper.
No.
Then I don't see what I can do. You know, I want to be fair about this. I'll speak to Katie and ask her to buy quieter bread.
Never mind.
Or I could puree the toast and eat it with a spoon.
Anybody want more coffee?
No thanks, Katie.
No thanks, but would it be too much trouble to squeeze me a glass of toast?
Yes, I'll... Oh!
Don't mind her, Katie. She's being clever.
Oh, well, I'll get it. Cooper's residence. Just a minute. It's for you, Mr. Cooper.
Oh, thanks.
You can start clearing the table, Katie.
All right.
Hello? Charlie Nichols? When did you get in town?
Charlie Nichols, who's that?
Oh, where have you been keeping yourself, you old horse thief?
Oh, must be one of George's best friends.
Mr. Cooper's best friend is a horse thief?
That's man talk, Katie. It's the way they greet their friends when they haven't seen each other for years.
Yeah, I'm still behind bars.
That means that George is still with the bank.
No, I'm still office boy.
Translation, he's been promoted to vice president.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah, I still beat Liz 3 times a day.
He loves me.
Gosh, it's like a foreign language, isn't it?
Oh, I guess I look about the same as when we were in school.
What does that mean?
That means I hope your paunch is bigger than mine. Oh, dear, I hope this fellow isn't a bullfrog.
A bullfrog?
Yeah, that's the name of George's old college glee club.
Sure, I remember the password.
Yeah, he's a bullfrog, all right.
Let's round up the old gang. Oh, I can hardly wait to sing those songs again. Yes, sir, that's my baby. No, sir, don't mean maybe. Yes,
Oh, Katie, we're dead.
sir. Don't worry, boy. I'll bring the old ukulele with me.
Oh, no. George hasn't seen that 4-string cigar box for 10 years, and he's going to expect me to know right where it is.
Oh, he won't.
He won't, eh? You watch. He'll turn away from that phone and say, Liz, what have you done with my ukulele?
Okay, Charlie. See you Tuesday night. Liz,
Yes, dear.
what have you done with my ukulele?
Oh, Mrs. Cooper, you sure know your husband. I'll be in the kitchen.
What caused that?
Nothing, dear.
Well, will you get my ukulele? We're having a reunion of the Bullfrogs Tuesday night. You know where you put it, don't you?
Oh, sure.
Now, what does that mean? Have you thrown it away like you do everything else of mine?
Now, George, I never throw anything of yours away.
Not much you don't. If you don't throw it away, you tear it into rags. And if you can't tear it, you plant ivy in it.
George, calm down.
How can I calm down after what happened last Sunday?
Oh.
Now, there was a blow to crush a man's spirit.
Now, you're not going to start that again.
I'm looking for a rag to wipe off the car. I reach into the rag bag. I take my hand out, and what's in it? What's in it? The tail of my favorite hunting shirt.
George, that hunting shirt was faded. It was torn under the arm. Most of the buttons were missing, and it shrunk 2 sizes.
Sure, it was just broken in.
Oh, what?
Well, all I can say is if you've thrown my uke away, Liz...
George, now be practical. When was the last time you saw that thing?
Well, it hasn't been long ago at all. I played it just the other night at the alumni dinner.
Do you happen to recall what year just the other night was in?
1938.
Well, now that hasn't been so long, has it? Maybe it's still on a string around your neck.
Well, that's where I should have kept it.
Now, if you'll stop accusing me, I'll try to help you. Probably up in the attic.
Well, let's go up there and get it. Should be easy to find.
Oh, you dreamer. Have you seen our attic lately?
No. Is it a mess?
A mess? That's the place old junk goes to die. Come on, I'll show you. Hey, wait for me, George.
Well, hurry up. What kept you?
Well, you told Katie to take your Glee Club sweater to the cleaners. I had to find it for her.
Well, I thought it would look better. Didn't really need cleaning.
Didn't need cleaning. I had to warn Katie not to drop it. It might break.
Oh, you women don't understand. A man's old clothes are filled with sentiment.
That's sediment, not sentiment.
Boy, this attic door sticks. There.
Ooh, it's stuffy up here. Open the window, George.
Okay. Wait a minute.
What's the matter?
Don't move. There's someone in the corner.
Where?
Over there. He just ducked down.
George, I think
Shh. Let me handle this. Who's there? I see you. Come out with your hands over your head.
He won't do it. Let's charge him.
Now, stop it, Liz. Getting back at me.
I can't. You're up against the wall.
He's a tricky one. I wonder why he won't answer.
Well, maybe it's because he's my dressmaker's dummy.
What?
Come on with your hands over your head.
No. That'll do. You might have told me.
Oh, well, you were being so brave, honey.
No.
Open the window. Go ahead.
I am.
Oh, there. That's better. Gets a little air in here.
Whoops, the door blew shut off. Hey, how about this? The first box I looked at is marked ukulele.
Well, that's good. Open it.
Hey, wait a minute. This isn't my ukulele. It's a pair of ski boots.
Yeah, well, that figures.
What do you mean?
Well, years ago when I packed all the boxes, I didn't have the labels with me.
So?
So I went downstairs and wrote out the labels.
So?
So when I got back, I forgot which label went with which box.
So?
Stop saying that. So I pasted them on any box.
Well, why?
Well, they were all written. I didn't want to waste them.
This should be fun. A surprise in every package, just like eating Cracker Jack.
Well, we'll find it. Now, don't worry.
Well, here's a box that says ski boots. By rights, this should be my ukulele.
What's in it?
I don't know. Whatever it is, it's dead. Looks like old rotten weeds with ribbons tied around them.
Oh, that's my corsage collection.
Your what?
My corsage collection. All through school, I saved the flowers the boys sent me. I still have every one.
Does the Board of Health know about this?
Never mind. Now put it away.
Look, Liz, the reason this attic is a mess is because it's cluttered with junk like this. Now let's throw it out.
Take your hand off that box. It stays. for sentimental reasons.
Oh, Liz, be practical.
Well, I suppose you're right. It goes.
Now, let's see how much more we can get rid of.
Well, here's a box marked Halloween costumes. What's all this junk in here?
Hey, look at that. My wonderful electric train.
Well, I haven't heard you use that tone since you proposed.
Oh, gosh, I haven't seen this train in years.
Well, you certainly have no use for it now. Out it goes.
Take your hand off that box. It stays.
Oh, George, don't be silly.
Well, now, who's being silly? That train doesn't leave this house.
Now, that's being practical. There's nothing as useful as an electric train.
But, Liz...
In fact, we should get another one for me. We can race them every night before we go to bed.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Out it goes.
George.
What?
I'll let you keep your train if you let me keep my corsage collection.
It's a deal. Yeah, but let's get some of this other junk out of here.
All right.
What about those old magazines?
No, they got recipes in them. How about that tennis racket?
Well, it's a good frame. What about that old dining room table?
What about that mounded fish? Now, you don't need these bowling shoes.
I do, too. Now, what good are those old drapes?
I'm going to make something out of them. Oh, George, we've been up here for hours and haven't gotten rid of a thing.
And we haven't found the ukulele either.
Well, let's get some lunch and try it again this afternoon when we're stronger.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Well, that's funny.
What's the matter?
The door's stuck. The lock must have snapped shut when it slammed.
Well, pull on it.
Well, I am. Oh, it's no use, Liz. There's no lock on this side of the door.
Oh, great. Well, what do we do now? Stay up here until someone finds us?
Well, now, take it easy. We'll just call Katie and have her come up and unlock it. Katie!
George.
Katie!
George.
Katie!
George! Katie isn't here. She went downtown.
Wouldn't you know she'd be downtown when we need her? Now, who told her to do a stupid thing like that?
You did. She took your Glee Club sweater to the cleaners, remember?
No, that's right. Well, she ought to be back by now.
Well, I don't think that she will be, George.
Why do you say that?
Well, I didn't think we'd need her, so I told her to take the afternoon off and go to a movie.
Oh, no!
Oh, yes.
September 23rd, 1949, My Favorite Husband on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Has someone in your family lost a job recently, and now you can't afford your mortgage payment? Or do you have a rental property and your tenants aren't paying you? We can come to the rescue and pay you cash for your home immediately. Yes, sell your home and get cash all over the phone without dealing with real estate agents or having to waste time showing your home to lukewarm buyers. You don't need to lose your house to foreclosure. If you have equity in your home, we'll buy your home and give you cash within days, all in a simple over-the-phone and virtual process. Call now before your situation gets worse. Sell a home you can't afford or just need anymore and get the cash you need today. Call this number now.
800-477-4612. 800-477-4612. 800-477-4612. That's 800-477-4612. Paid for by Want to Sell.
Thank you for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now more of Lucille Ball, Richard Denning, My Favorite Husband, September 23rd, 1949. They're locked in the attic.
And now, back to the Coopers. A few minutes ago, Liz and George found out they were accidentally locked in the attic. And since Katie is gone for the afternoon, it looks like they'll be prisoners for a while. Right now, one of the captives is angrily rattling the bars of the cage.
Oh, stop it, George. That won't do any good. The lock is on the other side.
Well, there must be some way to get out of here. Can't you think of something?
Well, if I were very thin and flat, you could slide me under the door.
Oh, very amusing.
Hey, the window.
Oh, it's too far for you to jump, Liz. I won't let you do it.
Well, thanks a lot. I meant we could call out and get someone's attention.
Good idea.
Oh, good. The woman across the street's coming out to get her mail. You, Mrs. Ricky!
Well, call louder. She's going back into the house.
You, Mrs. Ricky! It's me, Mrs. Cooper! Hello, Mrs. Cooper. Oh, darn it. She went back into her house.
Well, naturally, you should have yelled help or something.
Well, I was going to say that next. Oh, look, Mr. Wood is out in his backyard.
Where is he?
Right over there. His oldest boy's working on a motorcycle. You, Mr. Wood!
He's looking around.
You, Mr. Wood! He doesn't see me. Up here in the attic!
Oh, Mrs. Cooper, I couldn't find you.
Hey, Mr. Wood, we're up here in the attic.
Hey, I see you are. That's nice.
Nice.
We came up here to throw some things away, and the door locked behind us, and we can't get out, and Katie's gone. And if you just come in the house and unlock the door, we'd be very grateful.
Grateful for what?
Mr. Wood, we're trapped in the attic because the door's locked. Will you please come up and let us out so we can get some lunch?
Well, thanks anyway. I've had my lunch.
Quick, now, while the motor's off.
Mr. Wood, we're up in the attic and the door's locked, and we want you to come up and let us out. I made it.
You'll have to talk slow, Mrs. Cooper. I couldn't hear a word you said.
Oh, no. Mr. Wood, George and I are in the attic and can't get... Oh, that monster. Mr. Wood, can't you do something about that motorcycle?
Well, we're trying. I think we got it licked now. I'll see you later.
Oh, wait! Wait! Oh.
Well, nice try, Liz. Maybe we should set fire to something and send smoke signals.
Set fire to what, for instance? Me?
How about your corsage collection?
Oh, no, you don't.
Look, isn't that the newsboy on that bicycle?
Yes. Jimmy! Oh, Jimmy!
Where are you? I don't see you.
Up here, Jimmy! Up in the attic!
Okay, if you say so.
We wondered if you could put... Oh! He hit me right in the face with that paper.
Thought you wanted it up here.
How do you like that kid? For 3 years, he hasn't been able to hit the front porch. Today, he puts it right through the attic window into my kisser.
We're licked, Liz.
Well, at least we'll know what's going on in the outside world.
Stand back, Liz.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to break the door down.
You can't do that.
Well, there's nothing to it, Liz. I've seen them do it in the movies 1,000,000 times.
Well, all right.
Stand back. Here I come.
George, are you hurt?
Oh, what happened? Oh, what am I doing over here?
Well, you bounced clear into the corner.
Wow, they must use fake doors in pictures.
Maybe they use real men. No, I'm sorry I said that, George. That was cruel. I'm sorry.
Well, luckily I landed on some of your boxes.
Oh, yeah, let's see if you broke anything. Oh, George, guess what? We found your ukulele. Now you can be a bullfrog.
Well, give it to me. Is it broken? My dog has fleas. Oh.
Oh. I think when you landed, you flattened your fleas.
Yes, sir. That's my baby. No, sir. Don't mean maybe. Yes,
George!
sir. That's my baby.
George, as long as we're stuck up here, do me a favor, will you? Don't sing. George,
Yes, Liz.
what month was it when we came up here?
September.
I thought so. Look at the calendar on the wall. It's March.
Oh, Liz.
I wonder if it was a tough winter.
Now, stop it. That's an old calendar.
Well, it seems like it's been that long. George,
Yeah. Now, honey, now don't cry.
Who's crying?
Now, look, we'll get out of here before very long, you'll see. And we'll look back on this and have a good laugh.
We will?
Sure. Now, sweetie. No, come on. Now, here, take my handkerchief and dry your eyes.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you my big, brave girl?
Yes, George.
Now, forget that we're locked in, honey.
All right.
Now, think of this as an exciting adventure, an outing. We're having a picnic in the attic.
We're having a picnic in the attic.
That's it. Now, how do you feel?
I'm hungry. We haven't eaten since breakfast. I'm starved.
I know it. I'm as hungry as you are. But there's nothing to eat up here, so forget it.
I know where there's something to eat. I saw it a few minutes ago. Now, where is it? Oh, here it is.
What is it?
Now, stay away from me. This is mine.
All right. I won't touch it. Now, what is it?
It's a piece of cake.
A piece of cake?
Yes, our wedding cake.
September 23rd, 1949. Lucille Ball, Richard Denning, My Favorite Husband on Classic Radio Theater.
Attention Walmart shoppers. Now you can order one of the most advanced hearing aids on the market for hundreds, not thousands of dollars. Hearing Assist's most advanced product lineup includes models that use an exclusive app for enhanced control over what you want to hear. It's perfect if you have a smartphone or iPhone to hear everything better. And we have two great ways for you to get one. You can call the number at the end of this ad and order directly. Or you can call this same number and we will text you a complete list of Walmart Vision Center locations. We make it easy for you to hear better. Remember, call this number today to order and have a text message instantly sent to your phone to find the Walmart Vision Center near you. Here's that special number.
Call 800-360-0597. 800-360-0597. 800-360-0597. That's 800-360-0597.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of My Favorite Husband, September 23rd, 1949.
It's a piece of cake.
A piece of cake?
Yes, our wedding cake.
Liz, that's 10 years old. It's petrified.
You're just trying to get it away from me.
Drop it on the floor, Liz.
I see what you mean. Oh, there's a piece of cheese over in the corner. I wonder if I can get it out without snapping the trap.
Now, Liz, you're getting hysterical.
But I'm so hungry.
Well, I'm just as hungry as you are.
You are? George, don't look at me like that. You stay back, George. You wouldn't like me. I'm all stringy and tough and soggy.
Oh, no, don't be silly. Katie should be home any minute.
How do you know? She may have stepped off the curb into the path of an oncoming truck. Well, we'll never see her again. We'll never see anybody again. And thousands of years from now, some archaeologists will dig their way into the attic and find some bleached bones marked his and hers.
Oh, stop it now, Liz.
I can't help it. I've been in here too long. I'm stir crazy.
No, I'm beginning to think you are.
Look, we got to get out of here, even if we have to jump out the window. That's it. Jump. You jump, George. You're a bullfrog.
Hey. You've given me an idea.
Oh, I didn't mean it, George. I didn't mean it. Honest, I didn't.
Oh, I'm not going to jump, but we could make a rope out of these old drapes, and one of us could lower the other one to the ground. Here, help me knot them.
Well, George, I hate to think of your doing this. It's dangerous.
I know it, but I'll have to take that chance. Now be very careful on the way down.
Just a moment. Who's lowering whom?
I'm lowering you.
Over my dead body, you are.
Look, you want to get out of here or don't you?
Yes, I do, but somehow I pictured me on a different end of the drapes.
Liz, I'm only thinking of you.
So am I.
Well, give me one good reason why you shouldn't go. You're weaker, you're lighter, you're smaller.
You're insured.
This is no time to make jokes. You aren't strong enough to bear my weight. So, if you won't go down, we can forget the whole thing.
Well, all right, George.
Nah, it won't be bad at all. We'll get you over the edge, and before you know it, boom, you'll be on the ground.
You mean before I know it, squash, I'll be on the ground.
No, nothing will happen. Now, come on, get up on the window ledge.
Oh.
Now, I'll tie the drapes around your waist. There. Now, all you have to do is hang on while I lower you to the ground.
Oh, well, George, before I go, I want to say something.
Yes, dear.
If anything happens, I want you to have my corsage collection.
Nothing's going to happen.
Well, wish me luck.
Luck.
Okay.
Okay, now hang on tight.
Lower away.
Here we go.
Mrs. Cooper, don't do it!
Mr. Wood!
Mrs. Cooper, don't jump. Stay there. I'll be right up. Life is too sweet. Life can be beautiful. Don't jump till I've had a chance to talk to you. I'll be right up.
George, pull me back up. We've been saved.
Okay, here you come.
Oh, George, pull me up.
I'm pulling.
Hurry up, George.
Liz, what have I done?
You pulled me up so fast you ripped my dress on a nail.
Oh, thank goodness you're all right.
Open the door.
You open it. The lock's on your side.
Oh, Mrs. Cooper, you mustn't jump.
Wait, Mr. Wood, let me explain.
No, you couldn't give me a reason good enough. You have so much to live for. You're young, you're beautiful, you're vibrant.
Oh.
Now listen, Mr. Wood.
Think how good life is, Mrs. Cooper. Think of your husband. Think of the children.
I don't have any children.
Well, I've got 11 children. You can have a couple of mine to think of.
Well, Mr. Wood, you see, I really wasn't going to jump.
Of course you weren't. It never entered your mind. Don't worry, my lips are sealed. Let's close this window, huh?
Oh, please listen to me for a minute. You got it wrong, Mr. Wood. We were simply locked here in the attic and couldn't get out.
Locked in the attic?
Yes. You see, we came up early this morning to look for George's ukulele. And when we came in, we shut the door like this and we just... I did.
It isn't locked again.
Want to bet?
But I've got to get out of here. Now, this is ridiculous.
That won't do any good. I tried it.
Yeah, but they're waiting dinner for me. All 12 of them. My wife roasted a side of beef.
Well, I'm sorry. There's a piece of cake and some cheese here.
Oh, Liz.
Help! Help!
Who's in there? Oh, it's Katie. She's home. Let us out, Katie.
What is this, a meeting or something?
Oh, are we glad to see you, Katie. We thought you'd never get home.
I have a confession to make, Mrs. Cooper. I didn't go out.
You didn't?
No, I've been down in my room all afternoon, asleep.
My goodness, didn't you hear us shouting and stomping around?
I didn't hear a thing. I was sleeping on my good ear.
Oh, great.
Well, let's get out of here. George, open the window a little so it won't get so stuffy in here again.
Okay.
Oh! Ah! Get the door! The wind is slamming it shut.
Now we'll never get out.
Oh, yes, we will. The firemen will let us out.
They won't know we're here. We can't call them.
Oh, they'll be here for the fire.
What fire?
The one that follows the explosion.
What explosion? What are you talking about, Katie?
I left the pressure cooker on the stove.
Oh, no!
You have been listening to My Favorite Husband, starring Lucille Ball with Richard Denning, and based on characters created by Isabel Scott Laurie. Lucille Ball will soon be seen in the Columbia picture Miss Grant Takes Richmond. Be sure to listen to Lucille Ball and My Favorite Husband again next week.
September 23rd, 1949, My Favorite Husband on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-772-6113. 800-772-6113. 800-772-6113. That's 800-772-6113.
So if you thought all that was crazy, it's going to get worse. How? We're heading out to Wistful Vista, 79 to be precise, and see what was going on in the household of Fibber McGee and Molly on September 23rd, 1954. Ribbit.
It's time for Fibber McGee and Molly. Sundays through Thursdays, NBC brings you Fibber McGee and Molly transcribed. The show is written by Phil Leslie and Len Levinson and directed by Max Hutto.
Well, I tell you, Mr. McGee, I'll be kind of glad when you get rid of those frogs, just between you and me.
So will I, Lester. Also, this handsome mud puddle he built for them in the yard here. That's got to go.
Okay. Sally was remarking to me just last night at 3 o'clock this morning. She said to me,
3 o'clock? How'd you happen to be up that late, Lester?
Well, we weren't up, really. We were just woke up by the frogs. Sounded like an all-bass chorus doing a sleep in the deep at the bottom of a cistern.
If they'd have been in a cistern, I'd have put a lid on them.
Well, I'm sorry they kept you awake, Les, but won't happen again. I'm selling the whole batch of them to Monsieur Cliché, the chef at the Ritz Vista Hotel.
Why, that'll be mighty fine news at my house.
Yeah, he's tickled to death to get them, too. Said he'd be over here in a few minutes.
See, while he's here, I want to get him to tell me how he makes those beautiful swans out of folded napkins.
Say, look at that big fella there. I called him Ezio. He's the one that took all the solo parts last night.
He sounds a little hoarse today.
Yeah, that frog's probably got a people in his throat. Oh, my gosh, don't you get it, Molly? People get a frog in their throat. Frog gets a people in their throat. It's a pun on the twist.
It ain't funny, McGee.
Oh, frogs ain't a very funny people.
You said it.
A frog with a people in his throat. Say, that's pretty good, Mr. McGee. I'll have to tell Sally that one.
Oh, listen. I thought I heard the front doorbell ring.
Well, Monsieur Cliché's due about now.
I'll go on in and just in case he comes.
If it's him, bring him back out here, will you?
I better mosey on home, I guess. Sally's downtown. I want to watch for the laundryman. I want to talk to that feller.
Oh, what'd they do? Wash the buttons off your shirts or something?
No, I just want to have a little chat with him about those fancy striped shorts I got for Christmas. You remember the ones I showed you that Sally picked out?
Oh, yeah, the silk ones, huh? Did they lose them?
No, they didn't lose them. But, I think there's a comedian loose around that laundry someplace, Mr. McGee.
Yeah.
I didn't mind when they ironed pleats into my shorts. They come right out.
Pleats?
But the next time they bring my underwear back starched so the pleats will stay in, I'm gonna punch somebody.
Well, I don't blame you. That sounds pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah, a joke is a joke, but by golly, I'm
McGee, here's the gentleman you were expecting.
Ah, Monsieur McGee, you're as good as your word. You have the frogs.
Si, Monsieur Cliché. Look 'em over. You ever see a more happy, healthy, husky bunch of hoppers in your life?
Before you gentlemen get down to business, maybe Monsieur Cliché would like a little lunch. I could whip up a bite in a few minutes.
Thank you.
I don't suppose you high-eating chefs care for our kind of plain cooking, do you?
Oh, on the contrary, monsieur. I must decline with thanks because I am saving my appetite for dinner at home.
Oh?
My wife, she's fixing my favorite dish, Irish beef stew. I can hardly wait.
Oh, well, this deal shouldn't take long.
Naturally. Look at your frogs. I see they are active, healthy, the right size. They will fill the bill. The bill of fare, that is. How many do you have?
Well, the best count I can make with them all jumping around, I should say around 100 or so.
And these size will run 2 pair to the pound, 50 pound at $1.25 a pound, about $62.50 or so. You see the steward when you bring them in. I will tell him to give you a check.
Oh, then it's all set? Well, that's fine. Well, I'll walk you to your car.
Goodbye, madame. Thank you for the invitation.
Oh, you're welcome indeed. Some other time you've got to try my Irish stew.
Yeah, Molly sure whips up a stew that melts in the mouth.
Oh, I wish I could learn how to make it right.
Now, as soon as I get all them frogs transferred into a sack, I'll drive them down to the Ritz Vista.
Oh, that will not be necessary, Monsieur McGee. You just bring the legs.
Well, sure, but after all, the legs are attached to the... Oh.
Of course. We never buy them live.
Oh, gee whiz, I mean... I never stopped to think about that. My gosh, how am I going to...
That, Monsieur McGee, is your problem. I will tell the steward to expect you.
Holy smoke. That's the one thing I didn't even think about. Oh, this is a mess.
McGee? About those poor little frogs. You can't.
Now, Molly, I put in a lot of time catching those frogs, building the puddle to keep them in. I worked like a dog on this deal, and those frogs are worth $60 at that hotel.
I know, but I hate to think of the poor little things being clobbered like that.
My gosh, are you getting sentimental about a puddle full of frogs? Poor little things? That's not what you called them this morning at 4 o'clock. Where are you going?
In the house. I may go over to Mabel Toops's for a while. I just don't want to be here when that...
Okay, Tootsie. Oh, there goes a good kid. Awful sentimental, though. Not frogs, at least. Boy, when you start mixing sentiment with business, you're in trouble. The only thing I'm sentimental about is money. I love it. And $60 for a batch of frog legs is nothing.
Hi, Mr. McGee. Hi.
Oh, hi, Teeny. Everything okay? What you looking for?
My frog. My leopard frog. Here, Pierre. Here, Pierre. Here, boy.
Hey, don't do that, sis. I got over 100 frogs here, and you're getting them all excited. And when they hop around like that, it toughens the tender tendons in their legs, and tough frogs' legs are tough.
But you don't understand, mister. One of those frogs is not yours. He's mine.
What?
And I don't want him to associate with an inferior bunch of frogs. Pierre is pedigreedy.
You mean he's got a pedigree, don't you?
No, he's pedigreedy.
No?
I pet him so much he's greedy for affection.
Oh, I see.
Here, Pierre. Where are you, boy?
I don't think you'll ever find him in a crowd like that, Teeny.
Oh, I think I will.
Oh, I doubt it.
Oh, I don't.
Oh, how are you going to recognize him? By his fingerprints?
No, by his distinctive appearance. Here, Pierre. That's him there, you see? Here, Pierre, come here, boy.
Well, I'll be a darn.
You naughty old froggy staying out all night. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Yeah, you ought to be. I'll take him home now, Mr. McGee. And if Pierre ever comes over here again, you send him right home. Send him hopping.
Sure. Okay. Boy, I sure got a job on my hands right now. All the hotel wants is the legs. $60 worth of frog legs there. Wow. Well, never make any money standing here looking at them. I guess the first thing to do...
Oh, hello, Dr. Gamble. Do come in.
Hello, Molly. How's every little thing, and where is he? Sleeping?
McGee? No, he's out in the backyard with his frogs, Doctor. The poor little things.
Who?
The frogs. They're not hurting anybody, and, well, I hate to think of those poor little things winding up in the refrigerator at the Ritz Vista kitchen.
I'd like to have spent the month of August there myself. And hey, speaking of refrigerators, reminds me of a story. A woman came to a psychiatrist and said, "Doctor, my husband thinks he's an electric refrigerator. What can I do?" The doctor told her that wasn't unusual. There wasn't any real harm in it. If it made him happy, she should try to go along with the gag. Learn to live with the situation. The woman said, "I'll try, but it's terribly hard, doctor. You see, he sleeps with his mouth open, and the light keeps me awake."
Very good, Dr. Oney. Well, I can't get those frogs out of my mind. Pardon me a minute, will you?
Of course.
I'm going out there and turn those frogs loose.
You are? Oh, wait a minute, I'll come with you.
I don't care what himself says, I'm not going to let him do it.
I hate to butt in, but...
It's all right, butt in.
Well, didn't McGee go to a lot of trouble to catch those frogs out of Dugan's Lake?
I wish you could have seen him, mud from head to foot.
And then he tells me the sump room will pay some fantastic price for all the frog legs he can bring him.
$1.25 a pound.
But you're going to turn him loose?
Right. I just can't stand the thought of
Oh,
him.
hi, Molly. Hi, Doc. I was just coming back in the house. Come on back in the house. There's nothing out here you'd be interested in. Well, how's everything in the medical business, Doc? Looking up? Like your patients because you keep them flat on their back? You having a good...
Hush, McGee. We are on our way out to your frog puddle. I am
Frog puddle? No frog puddle out here. I filled it up. Come on in the house, Doc.
McGee, did you kill all those cute little frogs? Answer me, did you?
Oh, gee whiz, I wish you'd leave me alone, doggone it.
What'd you do with those frogs?
Well, my gosh, you carried on so about the poor little things, and I got to thinking about how could I look them in the eye while So I put them all in a sack, and I took them down to the park, and I dumped them in the lily pond.
Oh.
Well, they were my frogs, and I could do what I wanted with them. And anybody don't like it can go jump in the pond with them. There's no law against letting frogs go. This is a free country, and they
Did you get the chef on the phone, McGee? Tell him you weren't delivering the frog legs?
Yep, and boy, was he sore. But I got him to simmer down. He's okay now.
That's good. Those people are so excitable.
Well, I can't blame him. You see, he'd planned frog's legs for the chef's special for tomorrow and didn't know what to serve instead, but I fixed him up.
You fixed him up?
Yep, sure did. I told him your recipe for Irish stew.
Ah, you're a fine broth of a boy.
That's going to be the chef's special for tomorrow. Good night.
Good night, all.
Fibber McGee and Molly is an NBC Radio Network production transcribed, with Arthur Q. Bryan as Dr. Gamble, Robert Easton as Les, and Jack Moyles as the chef. This is John Wald reminding you to be back with us again Sunday night, when the McGees find themselves in a rather embarrassing predicament as they try to do a favor for the Toopses. Good night.
September 23rd, 1954. Fibber McGee and Molly on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Friends, this is Bob Hope. If an atom bomb were to hit your home city, would you know what to do? Remember, one explosion of an atom bomb could kill 75,000 and maim 100,000. This is only one kind of a disaster which could strike. In addition to many forms of enemy action, there are the dangers of fire, flood, earthquake, and traffic. Knowing what to do before, during, and after a disaster can improve your chances of survival. There is something you can do and do now. You can learn a pattern of survival. Your local Office of Civil Defense is ready to help. Persuade your club, your church, your friends, and your neighbors to help to learn to live. Remember, this is the atomic age. No one can escape its hazards, but everyone can prepare. Listen carefully. What you are about to hear can save your life. Do you know the siren signal in case of atomic attack? Do you know how to find shelter? Do you know how to give first aid? Do you know what will be done for your safety? For further details, consult your local Office of Civil Defense.
Would you do me a favor and thank this radio station and support their advertisers? It's their kindness and courtesy that allow us to be with you each and every time we roll around here on your favorite radio station. They'd appreciate knowing you're there, and so would we. We'd appreciate you letting them know. If you miss a day, you don't have to miss a single show. All of our shows are available on my webpage, classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. You can stream our shows on demand. You can also learn more about building a classic radio collection of your own. You can also find a list of sites where you can download our shows so you can have them for posterity if you so prefer. And you can also find our social media links there on classicradio.stream. And you can also buy me a copy. That buy me a coffee money does not buy me coffee. Rather, it helps us acquire new classic radio collections that we don't have in our collection to bring to you here. classicradio.stream. Thanks for tuning in. Tell your friends great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite station.